In a town that fell to ruin at the end of a battle, there's a knight that's riding through it alone. None can hold a candle to the victories that he's won, and he's killed more people than anyone. Those of the opposing land are afraid when they see him in sight. Desperately they beg him for their lives, regardless of how frantic their cries. Every time he has never halted once to listen to their pleas. Held in the arms of a woman's corpse, a baby girl innocently smiled over at the night. With eyes that were cold as stone, he looked at her and lifted his sword into the air.
Can't believe any survivors, sorry.
A hero's armor is always the color of crimson. Surely this is the color of the blood that he's covered in. It may be these deeds are for someone else's sake, but that doesn't mean it can be called justice. All that means that time continued on from there. 5 years came and went soon enough. Even now the war is still going on. In a temporary home someone awaits his return, and it was none other than that girl. Back when he had met her first, he saw a symbol zone on her clothes of the imperial family crest. He thought if he had this child with him, maybe then she'd be a useful hostage that he could use later on. You foolish girl who says
Papa will come home,
innocently smiling each time I return. Even though this man that you think of as your father is really your true parent's murderer.
Make believe burn the child. Oh, he got it.
A hero's armor is always the color of crimson. Surely this is the color of the treachery that he led. It may be these deeds are for someone else's sake, but that doesn't mean it can be called justice. All that means that many things are bound to occur when fighting upon the battlefield. Victory, losses, and hatred, living by Yordamlik and above all treachery. Before he realized, soon the knight was surrounded by a group of foes great in number. It was clear enough by the clothes that they wore that they were not the standard soldiers.
Hand over the child that you have in your possession,
said a woman who dressed in an old black robe. If he did so, it was also probable that they'd shortly afterwards murder her. Surely this was all a stroke of luck though. As for the knight, that was what he wanted, right? Because at the start, after all, that was why he had taken the child long ago.
somebody then suddenly ran right in front of them to defend that man, a sword in their hands. Right before the night, this small trembling bag had belonged to the child of which his foes asked,
"Oh, you pitiful little girl, trying to protect the man you call a father, even though he was in reality probably about to sell you off." Gently patting the girl's head, now the knight who was being ridden over her suddenly approached the assassins and he drew his sword.
I'm not suited to be a father, and I don't lead a life I can be proud of. But if you say that's right, even so, I will become the armor that protects you. Well then, shall we go?
A hero's armor is always the color of crimson. Surely this is the color of the blood light he's basking in. Walking hand in hand through an era that is covered by bloodshed is a knight in armor, and the daughter red. There is no justice or evil on the battlefield. There will surely arrive a day when he'll atone for all he's done. But until that time, when all of his sins come crashing down, he's decided he will be a father for now.